And good morning and welcome to Tyler, Texas. We are at Christus Trinity Mother Francis Mike Carter Field for Game 4 between the Tyler Junior College Apaches and the Coastal Bend Cougars. Dr. John Groth with you on the pregame show. First 3 games are in the books. Game 1 was a 10-6 win for the Coastal Bend Cougars on Wednesday. Yesterday was doubleheader day, and Apaches able to squeak in a 3-2 walk-off win in Game 1. And then Game 2, it was a 7-1 victory for the Apaches. And we had a chance to catch up with the head coach of the Cougars, Brian Barley, a few minutes ago. And let's hear what Coach Barley had to say down in front of the Cougar dugout just a few minutes ago. Cougar dugout with head coach Brian Barley. And Coach, if you're around baseball long enough, you're going to have days like yesterday for the Cougars, but you're also going to have your share of them on the other side. Talk about your reaction to, I guess let's talk about that first game. What a pitcher's battle. Back and forth, 6 hits between 2 teams over 9 innings. It was fun to watch. I know you didn't like the result, but from a baseball fan's standpoint, it's an exciting game.
It was a great game on both sides. I mean, we just come up on the short end of the stick at the end. Felt like we were in a great position to win the game. Probably should have went to our closer, a batter earlier, and who knows what would have happened. I mean, it could have went our way or it could have went
You're just like
way.
I am. You what if it to death after it's over, right?
Yeah, no, that one's going to haunt me for a while.
Well, I thought Nolan gave you a great start, and you had. I really thought that you were on the doorstep of going 2-0 in the series, and one pitch and the wind blowing out just a bit. Right off the bat, I didn't think it was going to get out of here, and the wind was blowing out, and it's going to blow out today again. So Baloo has been a hot hitter lately, and he caught one, and we all dream of that, don't we? In the backyard, hitting that walk-off home run to win a game.
Yeah, we do. We just came on short end stick, like I said. We executed our pitch. He put a good swing on the pitch. I mean, he threw it where we wanted him to throw it. He didn't miss his spot. Guy put a good swing on the ball, and ended up hitting the ball out of the park. That kind of was a dagger.
Right.
And we come back to second game and don't play as well as we did the first 2. Kind of let the air out of us a little bit, I believe.
Well, you just couldn't get anything going offensively in that second game. I thought Arnaldo Garcia gave you some good innings there at the end. He struck out 4 in his 2 innings of work. So, I mean, there were a couple of bright spots yesterday, but now you got to regroup, right? You
got to regroup.
You hope you can get back on that bus and even things up.
Yeah, it'd be nice going back 2-2. Right. I mean, even the series up, give us a chance when we get home. Obviously, if we lose today, it's going to be a tough struggle once we get to our place. We're going to have to win 3. I'd like to go in there knowing that we only had to win 2. With a 3-game series left at our place, but it's baseball.
Well, one of the things that I guess it's a little different for you, both you and Doug this year. Everybody's in. So what this is for is the chance to host. So all is not lost if you don't win this series. And what it means if you don't is that you'll be going to Dallas to play that district tournament instead of hosting at home. And obviously all of us want to host so we can sleep in our own beds and play on a field that we're used to playing on. But let's shift gears a bit. Who's going to get the ball here in this last game of the 4-game series?
Bo Gonzalez is going to get the ball. I mean, he's done a pretty good job this year. He beat LSU Eunice earlier in the year. They're a pretty good ball club.
Yeah, really good.
We're going to need a quality start, obviously, from him. Try to let him go as long as he can, but we've got to have a short leash on at the same time. We got to get this game.
Well, he must be a multi-talented guy because he's played left field and he's played third, and now he's going to pitch today.
He's going to pitch and hitting a 4-hole. Hopefully we can get his bat going a little bit today.
Right. Well, Brian, it's always good to talk to you. I'm not going to be able to travel to Beeville, so I wish you guys the best. Hope you have a nice run here at the end of the season, and hope today goes well for the Cougars.
All right. Thank you, John.
All right, a big thank you to Brian Barley giving me a few minutes of his pregame time. Cougars got their Houston Astro-like uniforms on today. A little different look for the group from Coastal Bend. I also caught up with the pitching coach for the Apaches, Michael Rupenthal, and I thought it would be good after such a great outing for the 2 starters yesterday to have a chance to talk to Coach Rupp a few minutes ago. Let's hear what he said about yesterday's ball games. All right, we got Coach Rupenthal down here. Apaches are getting ready to play Game 4 of the series. I want to talk about yesterday, Bo. You got some really good pitching. Talk about your two starters yesterday and what they gave the Apaches.
Yeah, I think they were both pretty phenomenal. Obviously, Peyton, throwing a no-hitter into the ninth, and really for him too, extending past the innings that he's thrown all year and the pitches that he's thrown all year. And thankfully, kind of his process and practice during the week has prepared him to do that. Same thing for Grigsby. He had only thrown 6 innings all year. That was the most he had thrown, and he went 7 and threw probably 120 some pitches yesterday, which is more than I'd like. But he wanted the ball. They both did, and they both got it done in the end.
So talk about the process during yesterday's game, especially that first one. The dialogue between you and Peyton, and maybe the dialogue between you and Doug, and inning by inning. I knew the no-hitter was intact. That was part of the equation, but also just trying to win that game.
Yeah, I kind of thought that he's good enough, and Doug did too, that he's good enough to where even if he's not at 100%, he's still probably as good or better than a lot of our other guys, just because of how talented he is. So having him out there, if he's a little tired, and he was still hitting 93s and 94s late in that game, so I was kind of keeping an eye on the velo and making sure that we didn't see him go down into the 80s or topping out at 90 or something like that. And at a certain point, I got to trust him what he says. But I think just with how he was pitching, it's tough to take that kid out unless it just gets to be an absurd amount of pitches.
Right.
So
talk about today's game. Game 4, you're trying to really put a button on maybe a 3-1 lead going to Beeville. Who's going to get the ball here for this 4th game?
We got Jacob Blatney, kind of the guy that you would imagine would start the 4th game for us. Kind of started and came out of the bullpen all year for us, and a guy that obviously has some experience. Probably the biggest returner we had coming on this team, and a guy that we certainly trust to go out and give us a really competitive outing.
All right, so I talked to Doug about this before the first game. How do you feel about your bullpen today and where everybody's at? Is everybody available?
Yeah, I feel good about the bullpen. I'd say everyone's available at this point. Obviously, really the only bullpen guy we used yesterday was Beasley, and that was just for 1 out, and I didn't necessarily want to have to use him yesterday, but
Vulture to win, huh?
Yeah,
one strikeout.
I think he earned it too, because that was a pretty big out for us to get to leave that lead at 1 and give Baloo a chance to do what he did.
Yep.
I think that was probably a little bit underrated performance from yesterday, from those games, for Beasley to come in, and he's done that all year. Just coming in with runners on and not letting them score, and usually just punching dudes out to get out of some jams for other guys. So I think we'll have him for an inning or two today, and then obviously no one else pitched yesterday, so everyone else will be ready to go.
That's part of the benefit of having those 2 horses go so deep yesterday, right?
Right. Yeah. That's obviously we needed that, because we kind of threw our 2 best guys on Wednesday and lost, and being able to bring them back today more rested. Beasley had to throw an out, but other than that, everyone else is rested now. I think hopefully the depth that we have hopefully kind of comes out on top.
The quality starters now, they're going to have to, if they try to win this game, they're going to have to roll some guys back out there for a 2nd and 3rd time today. So that's where it really helps that they didn't have to pitch yesterday. So Michael, thanks. You guys are you've done a great job with the pitchers this year. Just want to commend you on that. It's, I think, the strength of this ball club, and hopefully today goes well for the Apaches. Looking for win number 3 in the 4-game set. Thanks for taking time to talk to me.
Thank you.
All right, big shout out to Coach Michael Ruppenthal giving me a few minutes of his pregame time. Jacob Blatney has just finished up his warm-up tosses, and we're just a few minutes from the national anthem and first pitch here at Mike Carter Field in Tyler, Texas. Glad you're with us. Apaches hold a 2-1 advantage in the series after sweeping the doubleheader yesterday. Today will be real baseball, 9-inning ball game today, single 9. And you heard Coach Rippenthal just mention the fact that the Apache bullpen should be at full strength after pretty much having the day off yesterday. You had Peyton Miller go 9 innings, 8 2/3. Beasley came in and got 1 out and vultured a win as the walk-off home run by Jason Ballou sent the Apaches into the win column for the opening game. And then in the nightcap, it was Christian Grigsby going complete game in the second game, 7 innings, 118 pitches officially for Grigsby, getting his 5th win of the year. So a good day at the yard yesterday for the Apaches. They got the cream-colored uniforms on today. Those are kind of their special uniforms they like to wear on clinching type of ball games. So both clubs going to be congregating on the lines here momentarily. And let's take a moment and honor America with our national anthem. All right, we're just moments from the first pitch. Glad you're with us here at Tyler, Texas. Christus Trinity Mother Francis Mike Carter Field. Game 4 of the 4-game series between these two Region 14 Division III opponents. The Coastal Bend Cougars here for the 4-game series. Wednesday, a 10-6 Cougar win. Yesterday's doubleheader, it was 3-2 Apaches and then 7-1 Apaches. And Game 4 of the series will be momentarily. Games 5, 6, and 7 will be in Beeville on May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. It's 2 weeks away. So getting ready to play Game 4. Let's go through the starting lineups for Coastal Bend. Leading off is the center fielder, Cody Cobb, batting second. The right fielder, Kyler Bumstead. Batting third is the first baseman, Kyle McShapery. Batting cleanup and pitching is Bo Gonzalez. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Cooper Coe. Batting sixth, shortstop, J.B. Trees. Batting seventh, catcher, Ronnie Bailey Jr. Batting eighth, the left fielder, Jordan Wofford. And batting ninth for the Cougars, second baseman, Kyle McMahon. On the mound again, Bo Gonzalez. He's a pitcher DH, kind of a unique situation. Doesn't happen too often, but you see it once in a while in college baseball. So for the Apaches defensively, Heath Hood out in left field, Jacob Johnson in center, Eric Owen in right, Ty Meisner at third, Jacoby Bogue at short, Jaron Burks at second base, Miguel Vega at first, Cade Watson behind the plate. On the mound, 6'2" and 205, right-handed sophomore from Conroe, Texas, Jacob Blatney. Jacob Blatney, 4-1 on the year with a 3.58 ERA. This is Blatney's 14th appearance, his 7th start. 37 and 2/3 innings for Jacob Blatney. 51 strikeouts, 17 walks for the sophomore from Conroe, Texas, Jacob Blatney. Apaches wearing their cream-colored uniforms, the black ball caps, black socks. And the Cougars wearing the Houston Astro-type uniforms. First pitch, we're underway, ball one, right at 12 noon. Right on time. Glad you're with us. Dr. John Groth on the play-by-play. This is Cody Cobb to lead it off. And Blatney falls behind. 2 balls, no strikes. Wind is blowing out like it was yesterday. 60 degrees at game time. 54% humidity, and Blatney just hit Cobb. So there goes the perfect game. Here's Kyler Bumstead, the right fielder. And in yesterday's nightcap, Bumstead 0 for 3 with a walk. So Cobb's aboard after being hit by a pitch. He was 1 for 3 in yesterday's nightcap. Off the plate, Blatney struggling to throw strikes here in the early going. Going to go from the stretch, sophomore from Conroe, Texas. Oak Ridge High School product. And there it is, the first strike of the day for Jacob Blatney. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cougars just could not generate any kind of offense in the second game yesterday against Christian Grigsby, who went complete game in the second game. We played 2 sevens yesterday. Actually, first game ended up going extra innings. We played 9 in the opener. A walk-off home run by Jason Ballou gave the Apaches the 3-2 win. Game 2 was a 7-inning affair. Apaches took that one by a score 7-1. This ball's well hit left center field, high, deep, and gone. There's that wind. That was a high, that would have gone off the fence, but with this wind, it's a 2-run homer, and the Cougars jump out early here off the bat of Kyler Bumstead, 2-0. So a hit batter and a home run to left. That'll bring up Kyle McShaffrey. And Bumstead was pretty excited to go around those bases, trying to get that dugout fired up. Cougars would love to go back to Beeville, tied in the series 2-2. First pitch is fouled off. Get away from the Avalon. Ooh, okay, didn't get there. These lefties put my car in danger out there in that parking lot. Fortunately, the wind blew that thing back into the bleachers. Next pitch is off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike to left-handed batting first baseman Kyle McShaffrey. McShaffrey 2 for 4 in yesterday's second game. Big swing. And it's 1-2. Cougars had 6 hits in the ball game. Kyle McShaffrey had a couple of them. 1-2 pitch off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now that wind is whistling straight out today. Temperature 60 degrees. A northwesterly wind at 17. Swing and a miss. There's the first strikeout for Blatney. And there's 1 away. Blatney has struck out 51 batters in 37 2/3 coming into today's ball game. Here's the pitcher DH, Bo Gonzalez. Gonzalez has done a little bit of everything in this series. He's started in left, he's started at third base, and today he's batting cleanup and starting on the mound. So, multi-talented young man. Here's the 1-0. And he hit him. Blatney, 2 hit batters here in the first 4 at-bats for the Cougars. Well, here is Cooper Coe, the third baseman. Coe was 1 for 3 in the second game yesterday. Sophomore out of Kuntz, Texas. Blatney from the stretch now with 1 out. First pitch misses high, ball 1. And so far, Blatney's command is not there. This is pretty normal for pitchers. That first inning is always the biggest struggle for starting pitchers. 1-0 pitch misses low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. A hit batter and a 2-run homer started the ball game. A strikeout and another hit batter. That's where we stand. That ball hit him. The third hit batter of the inning. Just did graze the leg of Coe. And you got first and second, one away for J.B. Trees, and that's going to bring an early visit from pitching coach Michael Ruppenthal. Well, I'm sure that Coach Rupp did not want to have to be out of that dugout this quick. Scores 2-0 already, and Coach Ruppenthal with an extra slow walk to the mound right there. Trying to give Blatney just a moment or two to gather himself. And Mr. Umpire wants none of this. He's going to go out and try to break up the rock pile. Got a single 9 today. Going to play some real baseball. I'm not a fan of the 7-inning game. Mr. Umpire walking Coach Ruppenthal back to the dugout. I'm not sure. I thought he was going to say something to him, maybe just remind him of that's your first visit. They are making an emphasis this year, the umpires are, of keeping track of the visits. I think there's some different rules related to the number of visits the catcher and the coaches make to the mound. Well, this is J.B. Trees for the first time in the ball game, and now Blatney with a runner second going to step off. Trees was 1 for 3 in that game yesterday, the 7-1 loss. Second game of the doubleheader yesterday. We had some weather pretty much all day Wednesday, and then for the first part of actually the weather came in between ball games yesterday. Heavy rains, and we had a little bit going on during the first game, just a little sprinkle, but then the heavier rains came between the games. And really since then it's been pretty nice. Had some sunshine yesterday, swing and a miss. And it's no balls and 2 strikes on J.B. Trees. Supposed to be beautiful today, maybe a hair cool, and then even warmer tomorrow into the 70s and low 80s on Sunday. So great weather for Easter weekend here in East Texas. Breaking pitch in the dirt, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Watson does a nice job of preventing any further damage, allowing those base runners to move. 2-0. Coastal will steer in the top of the first inning. Jacob Blatney having a bit of a struggle here. He has hit 3 batters. A little tapper up the middle. And Bogue, boy, I thought he stepped on the bag, but that was a double play made to order, and Jacoby Bogue could not secure the ball safely. He'll get Cooper Coe on the 6th U. And Gonzalez goes to third. Now you got runners in the corners for Ronnie Bailey Jr. Bailey Jr., the freshman out of Georgetown, Eastview High School, also a TCS post-grad product. First pitch called a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Here we go. 2 outs and 2 aboard. Blatney, the pitch. That's over the heart of the plate, and it's 0-2. Well, you'd love to get out of this thing with just 2 runs. Jacob Blatney has hit 3 batters and given up a home run. And now Ronnie Bailey Jr. in an 0-2 hole. And now you got an early leave here, and Blatney's going to let him go. They're going to try to create a rundown situation, but Jacob's just going to let him steal second. So J.B. Trees, pretty much a indifference there. I don't think you'd give him a stolen base on that. Pitcher's indifference, I guess. Second and third now. The 0-2. Misses inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Apache fans going to get on Mr. Umpire early here. That was not close. It was well inside. 1-2 with 2 away. Blatney from the windup now. Ground ball to short. Bogue takes it on the big hop. He'll throw it to first, and there's your out. So, little contact between Bailey Jr. and Miguel Vega there. And they part ways and kiss and make up, maybe not. 6-3 if you're scoring at the house. The Cougars get 2 runs on a 2-run homer by Kyler Bumstead. Could have been worse for the Apaches. And we'll head to the bottom half of inning number 1. Your score from Mike Carter. The Cougars 2 and the Apaches coming to the plate. All right, let's bring you back early here and get you through this Tyler Junior College lineup. Leading off in right field is Eric Owen. Batting second, the second baseman, Jaron Burks. Batting third, first baseman, Miguel Vega. Batting cleanup for the Apaches, left fielder Heath Hood. Batting fifth, the DH, Jason Ballou. Batting sixth, third baseman, Ty Meisner. Batting seventh, the center fielder, Jacob Johnson. Batting eighth, the catcher, Cade Watson, and batting ninth for the Tyler Junior College Apaches, shortstop Jacoby Bogue. Defensively for the Cougars, Jordan Wofford will get the start in left field. Cody Cobb in center, Kyler Bumstead in right, Cooper Coe at third, JB Trees at short, Kyle McMahon at second, Kyle McShaffrey at first, Ronnie Bailey Jr. behind the plate, and on the mound, the right-handed sophomore from San Antonio O'Connor High School, 6'1" and 195, Bo Gonzalez. Bo Gonzalez is 2-3 on the mound for the Cougars with a 7.22 ERA. This is Gonzalez's 7th appearance of the year and his 3rd start. 28 2/3 innings for the sophomore from San Antonio. 27 strikeouts, 11 walks. Bo Gonzalez gets the nod on the mound for the Coastal Bend Cougars. Well, this is the first of the 4 games that the Cougars have actually scored in the top half of the first inning. In the opener, the Apaches were the team that jumped out early with a 1-0 and then 3-0 lead. And in game 2 yesterday, the opening game of yesterday's doubleheader, Coastal actually scored first, but they didn't score till the 4th. It was 1-1 for most of the ball game. And then the second game yesterday, the Apaches jumped out with a 3-run first inning. So this will be the first time that the Cougars actually apply the pressure first. First pitch to Eric Owen is ball 1 from Bo Gonzalez. Fastball off the plate, 2 balls and no strikes. Well, it's a blustery day here, kind of partly cloudy. We'll see the sun in and out as we go, but the wind blowing straight out, so balls that get up in the air are going to be a factor. That includes long fly balls and infield pop-ups, where you got to keep your feet moving on a day like today when the ball is popped up. 3-0 pitch in there, and it's 3-1. Gonzalez 6'1" and 195. Third start of the season, his 7th appearance overall, and there's another strike. It's 3-2. Eric Owen struggled in the second game yesterday. He was 0 for 3 with a walk and 3 strikeouts. Sophomore from White Oak. Boy, just missed. I don't know if I could have taken it with 2 strikes. Owen gets the call. And he'll jog down to first base with the first walk. There goes the perfect game. So Jaron Burks will step in. Jaron, in game 2 yesterday, 1 for 3. Freshman infielder out of Houston. Burks takes strike 1. First 2 games of the series, Burks was down in that 8 spot. And in game 2 yesterday, Coach Renz moved him up to the 2 hole, and he's back there today. Eric going over at first base, nobody out. Owen with 26 stolen bases to lead the club. So he is definitely a threat to steal here. Bo Gonzalez from the stretch. The pitch. There goes Owen, and a little hit and run, run and hit. Had a pretty good jump. Probably would have had it stolen. He'll have to go back on the foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pretty good lead for Eric over at first. Here's the pitch. Ball's well hit the left. That's trouble. That's going to bounce. And boy, nice job by Wolford to run it down. It goes to the fence. You might get a run out of it, but Wolford, pretty good speed, got that on one big hop in the gap. It's a double for Burks. Apaches come right back. Owen at third, Burks at second for Miguel Vega. And after some pretty good pitching performances, today's game might be a little bit of a slugfest. Cougars opened the game up with a 2-run homer. Now it's Vega up there with 2 on, nobody out, and the wind blowing out. First pitch, high, deep left field, but way foul. You know, I'll just tell you, when you hit on a day like today, it's awful tempting to just think drop and drive and get it out of here. And that's a mistake for hitters. Usually best advice is just to try to make solid contact and let the wind do its job if it's going to. 1 ball, 1 strike to Miguel Vega. Owen at third, Burks at second. The pitch. That's low. 2 balls and a strike. Well, Vega had 4 hits in the doubleheader yesterday. 2 singles and 2 doubles off the plate, and it looks like they're not going to give Vega anything close. You got a base open here with nobody out. You'd probably rather walk him than give up 3 runs. Here's the 3-1 from Gonzalez. Swing and a miss. Way inside. Probably was ball 4. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, 2 aboard. Bo Gonzalez from the windup, the pitch. Fly ball center, this is shallow. Cobb coming in, and I'm not sure, he did catch it, so it's sac fly for Miguel Vega. Nice catch out in center by Cobb. I thought he might have trapped it, but the field umpire indicated catch right away. So Burks stays at second, and Owen comes home to score the Apaches' first run. It's 2-1. And stepping in is Heath Hood. Hood had a couple of base hits in the second game yesterday. Heath Hood, the freshman from White Oak. And well, they checked on the appeal play thinking that Owen might have left a hair early. But umpire indicated he did not. Here's the first pitch to Heath Hood, swing and a miss, strike 1. Yeah, the other tendency on a day like today is to try to get out in front of everything and pull it instead of hitting it where it's pitched. So hitters are going to have to be patient, letting that ball get deep into the zone. 2-1 is our score. We're in the bottom of inning number 1. The pitch. Way out in front. What we were just talking about. No balls and 2 strikes to the Apache left fielder, Heath Hood. Oh, 0-2 delivery, a little check swing, and Hood fouls it into the third base dugout where the Cougars reside. Apache's in the first base dugout, as they always are here at Mike Carter. 325 down the lines, 361 in the gaps, 370 straight away. 18-foot high wall all the way around the ballpark. Another foul ball. Look out in the Cougar dugout. Little ugly finder over there. Coach Hunter picks up the ball and tosses it into the dugout. The dugouts here are so close to home plate. I wish there was something that could be done, but it really can't. Just the way the ballpark's constructed. Here's the next 0-2 delivery, and he hit him. And Hood is aboard. That's the 4th hit batter of the ball game. Blatney hit 3 Cougars, and now Gonzalez hits one of the Apaches. First and second, 1 out for Jason Ballou. Well, in the second game yesterday, after winning the first game with a walk-off home run to left field, Jason Ballou struck out in his first at-bat, reached on an error, walked, and struck out. So he struck out twice. That's the nature of baseball, boy. You hero in one game and strike out a couple times in the next. He's got a chance to do some more damage here. First pitch is outside, ball 1. And I can promise Gonzalez remembers the fact that Ballou drove one out of here. First pitch was off the plate, away from the right-hander's power. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch. Big swing and a miss. And it's 1-1. Well, a comfortable but breezy day here at the ballpark. Sustained winds at 15. I'm going to guess they're probably gusting to well over 20. Pennants and flags are just straight out. Breaking pitch. And it's 1-2 on the Apache DH. We're at the 5 spot. Apache lineup. Cougars able to score 2 runs in the top half of the first on a 2-run homer by Kyler Bumstead. And the Apaches have responded with a run of their own. Sac fly by Miguel Vega. Ground ball up the middle, and you step on second. You throw to first. Easy double play, and that's your inning. 6-3 ends the threat, but the Apaches do get 1 run on 1 hit. They leave a guy on. We'll go to the second inning. It's Coastal Bend 2 and Tyler 1. Back in a minute on ApacheAthletics.com. Eight, 9, and 1 for the Cougars. And this is Jordan Wofford leading it off. Wofford made a really nice play on the ball off of Jaron Burks' bat. That's a bunt, and it's bounced back up off of Wofford. And it was indicated by the home plate umpire that it hit Wofford while he was still in the batter's box, so it's a foul ball. If he's out of that batter's box, he's out. He's got the Hunter Pence look on the pants. He's got the skin going there. Very high pants. Maybe the stirrups aren't long enough. There's a little bloop into right, and Wofford's going to look for two, and he'll hold up. So a base hit. Nice piece of hitting right there by Jordan Wofford. He went down and got that pitch. And wasn't sharply hit, but it was well enough to get into that right field corner. Good job by Owen to get over there quickly. Wofford had a thought of going to second, but as quick as Owen got over there, he held him to a single. Here's Kyle McMahon. First pitch swing, and he fouls that down the third base line. And Coach Burley, a statue over there, not moving. Two-one is our score. We're in the top of the second inning. We'll check that live chat feature here momentarily. Boy, foul ball that went back off the bat on the backswing. Mahan in a hole. No balls and 2 strikes. All right, Mr. Lennon checking in. Now let's see here. Missed the first one. 0-2 pitch off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Miss Juanita Hood checking in from Houston. Rooting for Heath. Mr. Lennon checking in. Swing and a miss. That's a strikeout. Strikeout number 2 for Jacob Blatney. 1 out. Back to the top of the lineup we go. Cody Cobb got hit by a pitch to lead the game off. He scored a run when the guy in the on-deck circle, Kyler Bumstead, hit a home run. So no official at bat yet for Cobb. And he takes ball 1. So first from Mr. Shepard. Miss Cox checking in from Dayton, Texas. Watching, actually from Dayton, but watching from Atlanta. All right, so appreciate you checking in there. And Mr. Garcia checking in. So two-0 pitch is over the outside part of the plate, 2-1. One out, 1 aboard for the Cougars. Blatney from the stretch. 2-1 delivery off the plate, 3-1. Well, Blatney hit 3 Cougars in that first inning. Command just wasn't there. Seems to have settled in a bit here in the second inning. Falling behind 3-1. Pop-up, right side. Vega. And, boy, that ball was almost fair. Just in foul territory. And Cobb is out on the pop-up to Miguel Vega at first base. So P3 if you're scoring at the house. Here's Kyler Bumstead. 1 for 1, 2 RBI. He got one out of here in the first inning. Home run to left field. Sure he's thinking about the same thing right here. That wind's still blowing out. Gangbusters. Mr. Shepard has checked in, and Mr. Craig checking in from Boston, Massachusetts. All right, awesome. Feel free to check in on that live chat feature. And there's someone else. Mr. Bailey checking in from Georgetown. 1-1 pitch. Look out. Almost got him. 2 balls and a strike. That would have been the 4th hit batter for Blatney. Speaking of Georgetown, congratulations to former Apache Jordan Vieira, leading the Georgetown, I think it's the Bulldogs down there. They think won district for I don't know how many years in a row now, but Coach Vieira coached for me and was a player here at Tyler Junior College. There's a Swing and a miss, throw to second, and he is out. Nice job by Cade Watson to gun down Jordan Wofford. And that will end the inning. 2-6 on the caught stealing. And we'll head to the bottom of inning number 2. Score remains Coastal Bend 2 and the Apaches 1. Welcome back to Tyler, Texas. Well, elsewhere in Division III action in Texas, Richland at Brookhaven today, Eastfield at Mountain View. The North Lake Blazers are at Cedar Valley today, and those Blazers having a great year. And they are 19-3 in conference play, 27-17 overall. They lead the Metro Athletic Conference. Brookhaven second at 14-9. Cedar Valley 11-11. Eastfield 10-12. Richland 7-16, and Mountain View 6-16. So everybody makes the playoffs this year. These 2 squads and those 6 squads, they'll divide in half. 4 will go to Dallas, and 4 will go to the winner of this series this year. And that series, the locations of those regional tournaments will, I think, be rotated. This year, there will be one in Dallas, and the winner of Region 14 will also host one of the 4-team regional tournaments. That's, I think, 3 weeks away from this weekend. So right now, Northlake in the driver's seat in the Dallas area conference. 1-1 pitch. Line drive, left field, base hit. A single for Ty Meisner. And that'll lead off the second inning for the Apaches. Bo Gonzalez threw 24 pitches in his first inning. Back on the mound for the Cougars. Cougars got the navy blue stirrups going today with the stripes on them. Got the navy blue and light blue, kind of a Houston Astro look to their uniform today. The blue and white stripes down the side of the pants, and the powder blue caps with the navy blue bills. First pitch to Jacob Johnson, in there, strike 1. Johnson 1 for 1 with an RBI in the second game yesterday, a 7-1 Apache win. Back in that 7 spot for Coach Wren. 0-1 delivery. Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. 2-1-0 for the Apaches, 1-1-0 for the Cougars. Checking in from San Antonio, Miss Craig, appreciate that. Snap throw over, step and a dive, and Meisner's safe. Yeah, so just following up on the tip of the cap to Jordan Vieira, doing great things. Former Apache skipper down at Georgetown High School. 1-1 pitch. And there is the 12:35 right on time. Going to go by the ballpark here momentarily. At the train tracks right behind the right field wall here at Mike Carter. 2 balls and a strike to Jacob Johnson. Gonzalez, the stretch. There goes the runner. He swung through the ball late, and ball gets into center. And getting up and going to third is Meisner. Here's the throw, and he'll get the third. Good hustle by Meisner. So it's a stolen base for Meisner, and it's going to be an E2 that'll go get him to third. Get credit for a stolen base, and ball got away into center field. So now you got a runner at third, nobody out for Jacob Johnson. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gonzalez now going to go from the windup. Tell you, one of the things I always kind of looked at in these kind of situations was how slow the windup was, and if that pitcher looks at third. Ground ball, this will get a run in. 4-3, they were conceding the run, and the routine grounder to second base gets Johnson an RBI, and it gets the Apaches tied in this game. 2-2 is the score. So some aggressive base running adds up to a run for the Apaches. And here's Cade Watson. Watson 0 for 3 in that second ball game yesterday. First pitch misses, ball 1. Watson, the sophomore from Nacogdoches Central Heights High School. Had the Nacogdoches Dragons out here playing John Tyler last night. Fly ball, right field, and that's going to carry right to Kyler Bumstead for out number 2. On the F9, that'll bring up Jacoby Bogue for the first time today, batting in the 9 slot. Wind up the pitch. It's in there for a strike. 0-1 to Bogue. Jacoby in the second game of the doubleheader yesterday. 1 for 3. Off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bogue, the sophomore from Van. Line shot foul off the wall. Coach Hunter making the play. Tip of the cap. Coach Hunter going with the short sleeve pullover today. Coach Abney looks like he's got the 3/4 sleeves under the short sleeve pullover. So, yeah. Little tapper right back to Gonzalez, and he'll run over and flip it to first. Boy, banger. Good hustle by Bogue, almost beat it out. It'll go 1-3 in my score sheet. And we'll head to the 3rd inning. The Apaches tie it up. We're all knotted at 2. Top of inning number 3 here at the ballpark. 2, 3, and 4 for the Cougars from Coastal Bend College. Coastal Bend is in Beeville, Texas, 343 miles from Tyler. 6-hour trip for these Apaches in a couple of weeks. And Ed is excited about that. 2-2 is our score. foul ball makes it 0-1 on Bumstead, who'll get a fresh count after Walford got thrown out at second by Watson to end the second inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. That pitch is going to miss. 2-1. Bumstead's home run was his first of the year. 20 RBI number 21 and 22. Foul ball, right side, out of play, into the bleachers. Bumstead, a 263 average for the season. Ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball to third, backhanded by Meisner. Long throw, and Vega dropped it. I'm gonna call that an E3 right there. If Vega holds that ball, he's out. What a great play by Meisner. That ball was way in the hole on the third base line. I mean, he was probably had a foot on the line, if not in foul territory. And he made a good throw right to Vega's feet. I don't think it short hopped him. And Vega just couldn't quite hold on. And here's Kyle McShaffrey, a strikeout victim in the first inning. McShaffrey, 338 average on the year. Bumstead, 7 for 7 in stolen bases. Their leadoff hitter, Cobb, is their leading stealer. He's 10 for 12 on the year. There's the bunt right back to Blatney. He'll go to first, get the out. McShaffrey moves the runner with the sacrifice bunt.
Pitcher, number 12.
Here's Bo Gonzalez now. He got hit by a pitch his first time up. Cougars trying to play a little add-on baseball here. We're tied at 2 in the top of the third. First pitch is in there, strike 1. Blatney has settled in after having a rocky start in the first inning. He hit 3 Cougars and could have been a lot worse. Gave up a 2-run homer, but Cougars had 2 on and 1 out. And he navigated a couple of ground ball outs to get out of trouble in the first. 1 ball, 1 strike to cleanup hitter Bo Gonzalez. He's also the pitcher and officially listed as the DH pitcher in this game. Blatney from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Slider off the plate. Apache fans moaning in disappointment there. Blatney, the pitch. Ground ball left side. Bogue way in the hole. Long throw and got him. Boy, Gonzalez not a great runner. And nice play in the hole by Jacoby Bogue. 2 outs in the inning. I did not know that you were going to have a chance there, but while Mr. Gonzalez is multi-talented, playing left field and playing third base and pitching, foot speed wasn't there right there. Bogue took a while to get rid of that ball as it took him way to his right. And here's Cooper Coe for the second time. He is also one of their batters that got hit in the first inning. On the year, Coe, 246 average. There's the 0-1. Line shot. diving stab by Ty Meisner at third. Put a star by that one. L5, and Meisner dives to his left and makes a great play. That'll end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the third. We're still tied at 2. Well, let's bring you up to speed on some of the other Region 14 junior college baseball games today. Of course, the Cougars and the Apaches playing here. Paris is at Northeast Texas today, up in Mount Pleasant. Navarro at Bossier Parish over in Shreveport. Panola at Angelina down in Lufkin. And yeah, that's all. Well, yeah, that's all for today. Tomorrow, we got Galveston at Baton Rouge, doubleheader. And, of course, we've highlighted some of the Division III ball games already. Bottom of the third and the top of the lineup for the Apaches, Eric Owen for the second time. First pitch is in there, strike one. That's pitch number 40 for Bo Gonzalez. Owen walked and scored in the first inning on a sac fly by Miguel Vega. Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. This is game 4 of the 7-game series between these two squads. Apaches lead the series 2-1. Cougars won game 1, 10-6 on Wednesday. Apaches swept a doubleheader yesterday, 3-2 and 7-1. Base hit by Eric Owen to lead off the third. So with Owen aboard, Jaron Burks will stride to home plate. Burks doubled to left in his first plate appearance. Really nice play out there by Wofford. Otherwise, Owen would have scored. Wofford went to his left in the gap and cut it off before it got to the fence. Owen, at first, you probably think he's going to look to steal here. Apaches have a stolen base by Ty Meisner that ended up getting a run. As the throw went into center, he goes to third. Next batter, Johnson, hits a routine grounder and scores. Meisner. 1-0 pitch, check swing, popped just over the Apache dugout. Somebody made the barehanded catch in the dugout. Bo Gonzalez, the sophomore from San Antonio O'Connor, on the mound for the Cougars. 1-1 pitch, grounder to the third. This could be a double play. 5, and now you can't make it. It's going to be an E5. Errant throw by Cooper Coe. You probably should have got at least 1 on that play, as Cooper Coe fielded it cleanly. He threw on to McMahon, and the throw was low. McMahon could not handle it. And 2 Apaches aboard, nobody out for the big fella, Miguel Vega. First pitch. Boy, in there for strike 1, dropped a breaking pitch right over the plate. 0-1 pitch from Gonzalez. Ground ball that goes off the leg of Vega, and it's quickly 0-2. Apache first baseman. He hit a sacrifice fly his first time up. Got the Apaches on the scoreboard. Owen at second, Burks at first, and we'll see if they try to do anything with these runners here. Try to get them over to second and third. McMahon sneaking over towards second, as is Trees. Fly ball left field, and runners tagging. Here's the catch, and the throw comes all the way to third. Good job out there by Wofford. And there's one away. Heath Hood steps in now with 2 on and 1 out. Hood got hit by a pitch his first time up. On the season, Hood 377. That's second on the team. Vega's the only one with a higher average of 398. 9 doubles, couple of home runs, 24 RBI for the Apache left fielder. Gonzalez from the stretch. First pitch in there, strike 1. Bo Gonzalez coming into this ballgame, 28 2/3 innings pitched, 27 strikeouts, 11 walks. So he's been effective. He beat LSU Eunice earlier this year. Oh, 1 pitch. Outside corner, 0-2. Gonzalez's record as a pitcher, 2-3. A 7.22 ERA. Today's game is his 7th appearance on the mound for the Cougars and his 3rd start. 0-2 to Hood. The pitch fouled straight back. Do it again. Well, nice crowd gathering at the ballpark. Probably the biggest crowd of the series. Beautiful day here on a Good Friday. And inside move, you got the runner caught, and Owen is out. So, Eric, the steal was on, and you pretty much got to go as soon as that leg comes up. And when those kind of moves occur, you pretty much got to guess as a pitcher. And that time, Gonzalez guessed correctly. That'll go 1-5 on the caught stealing. Well, Burks did not go to second there, so a little surprised at that. Guess it's possible that Owen going on his own there. Normally, if you're going to steal, you send both runners. Well, now you have 2 outs in the inning, and Burks at first base, so that kind of changes the dynamic and the complexion of this inning in a big way. Gonzalez now 1 strike away from getting out of any trouble. Ground ball to second. Nice play there by McMahon. He'll flip it over to Trees. There's your inning. So, boy, that base running mistake by Owen gets the Coastal Bend Cougars off the field. Ground ball by Heath Hood. And we'll head to inning number 4. We're playing a 9 today, real baseball. We're tied at 2. Back in a minute on ApacheAthletics.com. Top of the fourth. 6, 7, and 8 for the Coastal Bend Cougars. We are knotted at 2. They jumped out 2-0 on a 2-run homer by Kyler Bumstead. The Apaches, a single run in the first, a single run in the second. And that's where we stand here as we go to the fourth. First pitch is in there. Strike one to shortstop, J.B. Trees. He grounded out to shortstop. His first time up, 0 for 1. Big swing and a miss on an off speed. Trees, .235 average on the season. 3 doubles, 2 home runs, and 18 RBI. Fastball away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on and nobody out. Top of inning number 4. Jacob Blatney. Breaking pitch just missed the inside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Blatney started the inning with 53 through 3 innings. His counterpart, Gonzalez, exactly the same number of pitches through 3, 53 pitches. Ground ball just fouled down the third base line. And we'll try it again at 2-2. Now we're sneaking up just a hair, 61 degrees now here at the ballpark. Wind continues to blow straight out. Breaking pitch just off the plate and maybe a little low. It's a full count on J.B. Trees. Line shot on the 1-hop. Meisner knocks it down, picks it up and throws. Got him. Nice play by Ty Meisner. The ball was well hit by J.B. Trees. And Meisner knocked it down, picked it up, and gunned down Trees for out number 1. So Meisner flashing the leather out there. Last couple of plays. He ended the third inning for the Cougars with a diving stab of a line drive off the bat of Cooper Coe and makes a nice play on J.B. Trees. First pitch swinging right to who? Ty Meisner throws across, 2 outs. Well, another well-hit ball, but right at Meisner for the second out. So quickly now with 2 outs, here's Jordan Wofford. Single to right his first time up. He's 1 for 1 in this ball game. 2-2-2 for the Cougars. 2-3-1 for the Apaches. First pitch is in there, strike 1. Watson dropped that pitch, but it was called a strike. A lot of times, catcher drops it, the umpire will not call it a strike. Whether it was or not. 0-1 pitch. It's in there. 0-2. Blatney starting to find a rhythm out there. Trying to make short work of the Cougars here in inning number 4. Going for the windup. 0-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3. I didn't think he did, but Mr. Umpire down at first base has got the opinion that matters. Strikeout number 3 for Jacob Blatney, and the Cougars go quickly and quietly here in the 4th. Go to the bottom half, still tied 2-2. Well, let's bring you up to speed with the latest Division III baseball poll put out on April 16th. So that was 3 days ago this week. Cumberland County out of New Jersey at the top of the poll. They're 29-2. Tyler Apaches in the number 2 spot. They are, right now they're 36-10 after a couple of games since the poll had come out. Northampton from Pennsylvania, 25-4, sits in the 3 position. Rowan Gloucester out of New Jersey, 4 at 23-5. Rock Valley out of Illinois, 29-9 in the 5 spot. In the 6 spot, Niagara County, 22-6 out of New York. Herkimer out of New York, 16-3. They're 7th in the poll. Brookdale out of New Jersey, 23-6, sits 8th. And Northlake out of Texas, 25-17. They're 9th in the country. And Century out of Minnesota, 17-6. They are tied with Rockingham for 10th place out of North Carolina, 22-7. So there's your top 10 polls in the Division III rankings NJCAA poll from this week. The Apaches were number 2 in last week's poll as well. And 2 weeks ago they were at the top, but the last 2 polls the Apaches have slipped below Cumberland. Cumberland 29-2 at the time of the poll. Swing and a miss. It's quickly no balls and 2 strikes to Jason Ballou. He hit into a double play that ended the first inning in his first at bat. He's 0 for 1. Ballou, 274 average for the Apaches. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's going to be strikeout. Well, that's the first strikeout of the ball game for Bo Gonzalez. Here's Ty Meisner now. Meisner reached on a single to left, stole second, reached third on the errant throw by the catcher. Ground ball left side, backhanded by Trees. He'll throw to first. Safe. Boy, pretty close play right there. Not a big fan of the slide. I know it's a hustle play for Meisner, but you're going to get there quicker if you stay on your feet. All you can do there is hurt your hand. The only time you slide to first is when you're avoiding a tag. But Meisner gets the infield single, 1B6, and that will bring up Jacob Johnson. Johnson got an RBI in his first at bat. Coastal conceded the run with a runner at third, let their infield back. Johnson hit a routine grounder to Kyle McMahon at second, and the run came in. First pitch off the plate, 1-0. With that wind just whistling straight out. Flag in right field wrapped around the pole, but flapping strongly. These pennants to our right and left they've been whipping around all morning. 1-0 pitch, gets the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Meisner already has 1 stolen base. It's a good hit and run count right here. A run and hit. And Gonzalez thinking the same thing. Snaps a pickoff over to first base. 2-2 is our score. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 out, 1 aboard for the Apaches. The pitch off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Well, the Apache softballers today are at Kilgore. And they're having quite a year. I think they're currently, if I remember, number 3 in the national rankings. You got the baseballers at 2 and the softballers at 3. 2-1 pitch from Gonzalez. Ground ball up the middle and through the hole. Base hit for Jacob Johnson. 2 aboard with 1 out. First hit of the ball game for Jacob. So back-to-back singles brings up the catcher, Cade Watson. Flew out to right field his first time up, 0 for 1. (42-6) are the softballers, 17-1 in conference play. And they travel over to Kilgore, 1 o'clock doubleheader, so they're underway over there. And they play Angelina on Monday. I'll be doing that game from the Brook Hill School. It's a 1 o'clock doubleheader. And then next Friday, Lady Cardinals Trinity Valley come to town and play the Apache softballers. So they're at home next week on Monday and Friday out at the Brook Hill School. And I believe I'll probably be doing both of those doubleheaders. There's the bunt, fouled off. Strike one to Cade Watson. Frustrated with himself, grabbing that bat. 2-2 is our score. You got 2 Apaches on, only 1 out. We're at the 8th spot in the Apache lineup. Catcher Cade Watson just tried to lay down a sacrifice bunt and fouled it back. You know, got to believe you're going to stay with that bunt here. See if Watson squares around. Here's the 0-1. Not squaring, and that ball's not close. About a 56-foot pitch there. Ball was way out in front of the plate. And Bailey Jr. does a pretty good job of knocking it down. Otherwise, you got second and third. This is where those catchers are so valuable. They can keep that ball close to home plate, keeps the runners from advancing. Those runners advance right here. Your double play is out the window. And all of a sudden, you get Watson a chance to drive in 2 runs. 1-1 count. Fly ball, center field. This is fairly deep. Cobb over, makes the catch. And hustling into third is Ty Meisner. So fly ball by Watson. Moves Meisner to third. Johnson stays put at first. And here's Jacoby Bogue for the second time. He grounded back to the pitcher to end the second inning. 0 for 1 in this ball game. Bogue with a .282 average on the year. 5 doubles, a couple of home runs. For the Apache shortstop. We're tied at 2 in the bottom of the 4th, playing 9 today, single 9 at the ballpark. First pitch. Just misses, ball 1. This is game 4 of the 4-game series. Cougars took the first game 10-6 on Wednesday. Apaches 3-2 and 7-1 winners, sweeping a doubleheader yesterday. 1-0 pitch to Bogue, swing and a miss. It's 1-1. Well, Miss Riles has checked in. Appreciate that. From Huntsville, Alabama. I've heard from Alabama. And hello from Pearland. Rooting for the Cougars. Miss Mendez, appreciate you checking in. Feel free to shoot us a note in that live chat feature. We'll give you a little shout out on the air. This is game 4 between these two squads. They'll play 3 more in Beeville on May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Joe Hunter Field. Really nice new complex down there at Coastal Bend. Pick off and step and a dive. Johnson back safely. Two-one pitch, grounded to short. This is Trees. He'll flip it over to McMahon for the final out. 6-4 if you're scoring at the house. And that'll do it for the Apaches in their half of inning number 4. We'll go to the 5th. Still tied at 2. Stay with us. Back in a minute on ApacheAthletics.com. Top of the 5th for the Cougars. Kyle McMahon struck out swinging. He's 0 for 1. Now, if you're wondering where Beeville is, it's about halfway between Corpus and San Antonio. Next pitch is going to miss. 2 balls and no strikes to the Cougars' second baseman. Beeville's a city in B County. Estimated population 13,290. It's the county seat of B County, and it's also it's the home of Coastal Bend College, and there are 3 prisons nearby. Fly ball left field, and this is going to be Hood out there making the catch for out number 1. F9 if you're scoring at the house. Here's Cody Cobb. 0 for 1. He popped up to first. Line shot left field, base hit for Cobb. And the Cougars with a 1-out base runner. Good swing right there by the center fielder. Here's Kyler Bumstead. Bumstead, 2-run homer, gave the Cougars an early lead. Back in the first inning, he reached on an error by Miguel Vega in the 3rd inning. So he's been on, well, actually, he wasn't on base for the home run. He circled the bases. So Cobb at first. I think they're going to look to get him to second in this at-bat at some point. So first pitch is off the plate, ball 1. One out, 1 aboard. Cougars trying to retake the lead. Swing and a miss. Boy, big hack right there by Bumstead trying to hit his second homer of the day. Wind is still blowing out here at the ballpark. I don't think it's probably not going to die down throughout the game. 2-2 is our score. 2-2-2 for the Cougars. 2-5-1 for the Apaches. Fastball misses inside. Blatney from the stretch. Tapper to third. Meisner throws it to second for 1. You go to first. Double play. Nicely done. Meisner to Burks to Vega. 5-4-3. And that'll get the Apache dugout on their feet. And the inning is over for the Cougars. We'll go to the bottom half of inning number 5. We're officially halfway through this one. And we're still tied at 2. Welcome back to Tyler, Texas. We are at Christus Trinity Mother Francis Mike Carter Field. Dr. John Groth with you. Halfway home in this one. Top of the lineup for the Apaches. Eric Owen will lead it off. 1 for 1. Swing to the left and walked. He scored one of the 2 Apache runs back in the first inning. Good hustle by Coach Hunter getting down that third base coach's box. Good to see that. And, boy, I thought that ball might have grazed him. Got away from Bailey Jr. behind the plate, ball 1. It was pitch number 69 for Bo Gonzalez. Swing and a miss way out in front. Nobody on, nobody out. Owen at the plate, the 1-1. Off the plate. Again, gets away from Bailey Jr., and it's 2-1. Gonzalez, a sophomore from San Antonio. 3rd start of the season. One of those starts was a victory. He got credit for the win. Well, I don't know if it was a start. Could have come in as a relief pitcher, but he got credit for a win against LSU Unis. I think it was one of his starts. That's what Coach Burley were chatting down in the dugout before the game and talking about the many different talents of Bo Gonzalez. As he started a game in this series in left, he started one at third, and now today starting on the mound. And also hitting cleanup. It's a leadoff walk to Eric Owen. Ball got away from Bailey Jr. again. And that's the 2nd walk of the ball game. First walk since the very first batter of the ball game. So Coach Burley out to the mound, and you got a right-hander in the bullpen. He's going to have a chat with Bo Gonzalez here. The whole infield on the mound here. 2-2 is our score. We're dead middle of the ball game. Bottom of the 5th. Playing a single 9 today on a Good Friday. Hope you're having a good Friday. Hope you get a chance to spend some time with family and friends this weekend. Celebrate the resurrection. Here's Jaron Burks for the 3rd time. Doubled in the first inning. Reached on an error in the 3rd inning. So Burks has been on base both times. And you start thinking about what you can do offensively here. Certainly bunts in order, steals in order. Check swing by Burks, ball 1. Owen leads the Apaches with 26 stolen bases, so pretty healthy lead here with a 1-0 count. Not going. Pop up right side. This is going to stay in play. McShaffrey catches it in foul territory for out number 1. That's a big out right there. After allowing a leadoff walk, Gonzalez gets the pop up. And with 1 out, now the double play ends the inning. The big fella, Miguel Vega, sac fly to center and an RBI in the first inning, flew out to left in the 3rd. He's 0 for 1. You still got to be very careful. That wind blowing straight out. Vega, the leading hitter for the Apaches, 398 average. He does have 1 home run and 19 RBI. Also has 7 doubles. Jacob Johnson leads the club with 16 doubles. There goes the runner. Tapper to 3rd. And you fire it across. And he's out at 1st. And good base running there by Eric Owen. He was off with the pitch. And he just kept running. Vega hit a ground ball to Cooper Coe at 3rd. Coe made the long throw across the diamond to get Vega. But Owen didn't stop running. He just kept on coming. And he's safe at third with 2 outs. Here's Heath Hood. Hit by a pitch in the first, grounded out to second base in the third. First pitch misses inside, ball 1. Well, Gonzalez, kind of a slow delivery. Owen getting a lead at third. One of the things you like to do is teach your pitchers to take a quick little glance to third before you start rocking back in the windup here, just in case that runner's easing off too far. Gonzalez does not glance at all. Check swing, did not go. 2 balls and a strike to Heath Hood. Owen not really looking to get any kind of major lead off at third. 2-1. Fly ball right field. This should end the inning. Bumstead, and he misjudged it. It went off the fence, or short hopped the fence. I thought he had a beat on that. And that ball carried. It got up into the jet stream. And the Apaches will take a 3-2 lead on a double by Heath Hood. That ball got up into the jet stream. Off the bat, it looked like a routine out. And Bumstead took a couple of steps back and realized he wasn't going to catch it, played it off the fence. Well, here's Jason Ballou. Another runner in scoring position, and the Apaches now with a 3-2 lead. Well, we knew that wind was going to play a factor, and definitely a factor on that play. Gonzalez from the stretch. Pitch. High fly ball left center, and I don't think this is going to carry too far as the left fielder Wofford makes the catch for the final out. F7 if you're scoring at the house, but the Apaches get a run on an RBI double off the bat of Heath Hood. And your new score for Mike Carter Field, Tyler 3 and Coastal 2. Welcome back to Tyler, Texas. Dr. John Groth with you. Well, we've had a couple more folks check in. Rooting for Heath is Miss Schultz. Go Heath from Andrews, Texas. And also Miss Leah Rester from Enterprise, rooting for Coach Wren. Appreciate the check-in there. I may have met her. Blessed to speak at Coach Wren's wedding a couple years ago. His wife Amelia with a lot of relatives down in Alabama. First pitch to Kyle McShaffrey. Off the plate, ball 1. 3-2 Apaches, top of the 6th. Cougars 3, 4, and 5 here this inning. And Blatney falls behind 2-0. Cougars to energy lifted a bit in the dugout, trying to get something going. They find themselves trailing now, and Apaches trying to take a 3-1 series lead. Game 4 of the 4-game set here in Tyler. Fastball on the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Well, and I've also heard from Miss Rhonda Owenga watching from Overton. That ball's well hit into the left center gap, and you're not going to get it. Johnson Dove could not get there. McShaffrey will chug into second with a stand-up double. Well, here come the Cougars. They have been a resilient crew here all weekend. Good piece of hitting by McShaffrey. Went the other way for the leadoff double. McShaffrey, 338 coming in. That's going to bring a visit from Coach Ruppenthal. no activity in the Apache bullpen here, so I think this might be a little bit of a scouting type of visit. Coach Ruppenthal out there having a chat with the starter, Jacob Blatney. Started the inning with 73 pitches. As we go here in the 6th inning. Tying run at second with no one out for Bo Gonzalez, the pitcher DH and also the cleanup hitter. Gonzalez, just a .214 average, but he does have 4 home runs and 22 RBI, so he's capable of getting one out of here if you make a mistake. And a home run here would give the Cougars the lead. Blatney from the stretch, the pitch. Well, Vega is playing in anticipating a possible bunt from Gonzalez. I'll be a little surprised if they have him bunt here. You never know. 1-0 pitch. Not showing bunt at all. That's a strike. Coach Barley not giving any signs between pitches here, so it appears that Gonzalez is going to be given the green light here. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. 3-2 Apaches, tying run at second for the Cougars. The pitch. Misses low on the breaking pitch. Bo Gonzalez, the pitcher DH at the plate, has a chance to help his own cause. Big swing right there, fouls it straight back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. A leadoff double off the bat of Kyle McShaffrey. Two-two pitch. Ground ball foul. And Cal will stay 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cooper Coe waits on deck. 0 for 1 today. Both Gonzalez and Coe got hit by a pitch in the first inning. As Blatney struggled in that first inning with his command. Here's the next 2-2 offering. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase one up in the zone. And it's a strikeout for Blatney. Strikeout number 4 for Jacob Blatney. With 1 out, here's Cooper Coe. That's a big out. Well, you want to be productive. If you're a Coastal fan there, try to at least move that runner with an out. But a strikeout is exactly what the Apaches needed. Here's Cooper Coe, 0 for 1. Coe, 246 on the season. First pitch misses low, ball 1. 9 doubles for Coe and a couple of homers, 26 RBI. Cougars got about 4 guys, I think, in the 20s on the RBI total. That's a breaking pitch. It's low, 2 balls and no strikes. McShaffrey has 27. Bumstead with 20. Coe with 26. Gonzalez with 22. You got Bailey Jr. with 17 and Cobb with 16. Spread the love there. 2-0 pitch. Low, 3-0. Well, if Coe would reach, then it would be J.B. Trees, the shortstop, next. Trees has got 18 RBIs himself. Right in that 20 RBI category, right just shy of it. Spin move, trying to keep McShaffrey close to second base. He represents the tying run. 3-2 is our score. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Jacob Blatney, the pitch. It's in there for a strike, 3-1. Blatney from the stretch. Here's the 3-1 foul off the foot of Coe. And it's a full count. Great day at the ballpark here. Two squads. The Apaches trying to take the 3-1 advantage down to Beeville. And of course, the Cougars would love to get on that bus today. Tied with a 2-2 season record between them and the Apaches. If the Cougars could find a way to win this ball game, then basically the season series would be a 3-game series down in Beeville, would determine who would get the #1 seed in Region 14 and who would host that tournament. Regional, 3 weeks from this weekend. Here's the payoff pitch. Line shot, look out. Boy, just over the heads of those guys in the dugout. Again, these dugouts are so close to home plate. You better be heads up over there. You're going to have a chance to get hurt. They got the netting in front and the padding, but most of those guys are standing up or leaning right over that padding, and they're open targets. The next 3-2 delivery. Little tapper that trickles behind home plate. And we'll do it again at 3-2. One out, one aboard. McShaffrey with the leadoff double. Gonzalez was a strikeout victim, and now it's Cooper Coe battling starting pitcher Jacob Blatney. Both starters still in the game. Time called now by Coe. Blatney from the set. The pitch. Strike 3 called, outside corner. And Coe had tossed his bat to the dugout, and he's going to have some choice words for the umpire. Better watch out there. And it'll be second consecutive strikeout for Jacob Blatney. That's 5 in the game for the sophomore from Conroe Oak Ridge. Here's J.B. Trees now with 2 outs. Trees is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. Actually reached on a fielder's choice the first time, but both times hit a ground ball in the infield. First pitch is in there on the breaking pitch, 0-1. Last time up, got robbed by Ty Meisner over at third. Blatney, the 0-1. And that's a tapper foul down the third base line, out of play. So Jacob Blatney 1 pitch away from getting out of any trouble here. The leadoff double showed promise for the Cougars as we started the 6th inning, but since then, Gonzalez has struck out swinging, and Cooper Coe just got called out on strikes. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball, left side. Deep in the hole. Bogue's going to throw it to first. Not in time. It's an infield single for J.B. Trees. Well, Meisner dove and couldn't quite glove it. Bogue ended up gloving it, and by the time he got it to first, Trees had legged out an infield single. Going to third is McShaffrey. So now you got 2 Cougars aboard, and that will be all for Jacob Blatney. They've made the call to the bullpen. We'll let you know who the new pitcher is when we return. 3-2 Apaches, top of the 6th. All right, the Apaches go to the bullpen for the first time today, and it's sophomore Sean Beasley coming on for the third time in the series. Beasley did throw in that 10-6 loss, and he also threw yesterday, got one out in the 3-2 walk-off win. He vultured a win, struck out one batter, and got the win. So Beasley on here with 2 outs in the 6th inning, 2 runners aboard. He'll face Ronnie Bailey Jr. First pitch off the plate, ball 1. Bailey Jr. 0 for 2. Ground ball to short, ground ball to third. For Beasley, 4-1 on the year with a 2.41 ERA. 19 appearances. 33 2/3, 56 strikeouts to just 6 walks. 2 balls and no strikes to catcher Ronnie Bailey Jr. Ground ball, third base. Meisner up with it, throws it across, and Beasley comes in and gets the job done. That'll end the threat here in the 6th. Boy, leadoff double looked promising, and a couple of strikeouts and a ground out. And that'll be it for the Cougars in inning number 6. We'll come back with the bottom half. Your score remains Tyler 3, Coastal 2. Bottom of inning number 6, and it's 6, 7, and 8 for the Apaches. Ty Meisner, Jacob Johnson, Cade Watson. Scheduled to hit for Coach Wren and the Apaches. Wearing their cream-colored uniforms today. Kind of an off-white color with the black Apaches across the chest and the black numerals, black striping along the sleeves and the pants, around the collar. 1 ball, no strikes to Meisner. He's 2 for 2. Single to left, infield single his last time up. High fly ball, center field. This is deep, and it is off the fence. Cobb was drifting, and I tell you what, if you drift on a day like today, you got to get back. If he'd have gotten back on that ball, he'd have probably made the play, but he drifted, and outfielders that drift are in trouble. And especially on a windy day, that ball kept going, and Cobb found himself wrestling with the wall out there, and he lost. Double to center to lead off inning number 6 for the Apaches, and that's going to be all for Bo Gonzalez. We'll give you the new pitcher for the Coastal Bend Cougars when we return. All right, the new pitcher for the Cougars, right-hand sophomore from Bryan, Texas, out of Allen Academy. 5'10 to 160, Cody Vega. For Vega, outing number 11 of the year. And I was wondering if we saw him in the opener, that 10-6 win. He actually got the win, did a good job in that 10-6 win. So he'll be on for the second time in the series. Vega's 12th appearance, 5-5 with a 6.97 ERA, 41 and a third, 32 strikeouts, 16 walks. For the sophomore from Bryan, Texas, out of Allen Academy, Cody Vega. First pitch misses. It's 1 ball, no strikes to Jacob Johnson. Jacob 1 for 2 with an RBI in this ball game. Meisner at second, no one out. You might think about bunting here. Right now, you're going to let him swing. Pitch is called a strike. It's 1-1. Third baseman playing way back. Boy, you're just asking him to drag bunt here. Cooper Coe way behind third base. If you lay down an average drag bunt here, you got a hit. Called a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I get a little frustrated, to be honest with you. Some of these guys today, they just don't even think about the other parts of the game. Everyone wants to drop and drive, hit doubles and home runs. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jacob Johnson. There's a foul ball that somehow makes its way through the netting. Johnson stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No outs, a leadoff double by Meisner. Apaches trying to add to a 3-2 lead. On the bottom of the 6th inning. Vega, the pitch. Fly ball left field. Wofford should have a chance to catch this one, and he does. And there's 1 away. That'll go F7 if you're scoring at the house. Here's Cade Watson for the 3rd time. A couple of fly ball outs for Watson. 1 to right, 1 to center. Well, even if you lay down a bad drag bunt there, you're going to move the runner, and it's a productive out. So now you bring Cade Watson up with 1 away. Fastball inside. And again, Cooper Coe way back at third. I mean, he is 10 to 15 feet behind the third base bag. And Watson gets hit by the pitch. Really doesn't hurt you. You're coastal, because now that sets up a double play. Jacoby Bogue steps in. He has tapped back the pitcher and grounded out to short, 0 for 2. Well, with 1 out, that drag bunt's still in play. I don't know, the coach in me is just screaming to lay a drag bunt down here. First pitch to Bogue, off the plate, ball 1. Cody Vega did a really good job in that opening ball game, and he secured the win. Actually got credit for the win. Shoulders got the save in that opener. So his 2nd appearance of the series. Coach Burley hoping he can do the same thing here. 1-0 off the plate, 2-0. Well, you got to throw strikes. You got double barrel action down in that Cougar bullpen. Looks like you got a righty and a lefty tossing. Actually, 2 righties. Here's the 2-0. Fly ball, left center, and Wofford runs it down in the gap for out number 2. So 2 away. Back to the top of the lineup you go. And Eric Owen. Owen in this ball game has walked twice and singled. He's 1 for 1. Apaches lead this game by a score of 3-2. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-7-1 for the Tyler Apaches. 2-5-2 for the Cougars from Coastal Bend. First pitch off the plate, ball 1. 4th plate appearance for Eric Owen. Cody Vega, the sophomore. Line shot right at the center fielder, Cobb. He makes the grab. That's the earning. Well hit by Owen, but it went right to Cody Cobb. And that'll end the 6th. A leadoff. Both teams had a leadoff double, could not do anything with it. We'll head to the 7th. Almost time to stretch it out at the ballpark. It's 3-2 Apaches. Top of the 7th inning. We're in Tyler, Texas at Christus Trinity Mother Francis Mike Carter Field. Dr. John Groth with you. 8-9-1 for the Cougars. Wofford, McMahon, and Cobb scheduled to hit for Coastal Bend. Wofford 1 for 2, singled to right, struck out. First pitch from Sean Beasley. Strike 1. Beasley came on with 2 outs in the 6th and got Bailey Jr. to ground out. It's a ground ball to the left side, and Burks tries to make the play but can't get there. So that's an infield single for Wofford. And for the 2nd inning in a row, the Cougars have their leadoff runner aboard. And here's Kyle McMahon, 0 for 2, a strikeout back in the 2nd inning, flew out to right field in the 5th. He's going to square around and show bunt and pull back for ball 1. Three, 7-1 for the Apaches, 2-6-2 for the Cougars, and another square round. That pitch is called a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're at the 9 spot in the Cougar lineup. And he squares around again, takes ball 2. Blatney ended up throwing 94 pitches in 6 2/3 innings. 2-1 pitch, low. 3-1. Now Beasley a pitch away from putting a second base runner aboard here. Wofford got the infield single. It's 3-1 on McMahon. And he will try to bunt that and foul it off. And now you wonder if Coach Burley will ask McMahon to bunt again with 2 strikes. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out, runner at first. 3-2 is the score, the pitch. Swings away and fouls it down the third base line, foul. Here's the next 3-2 pitch. Low, ball 4. 2 runners on with nobody out. First walk for Beasley. And boy, I think that's the first walk for Apache pitchers today. Blatney hit 3 batters in the first inning, but he did not walk a batter. So now you got Vega creeping at first. Top of the lineup, Cody Cobb. He's going to square around, pops up the bunt, and no one can get there. Meisner gave chase at third, couldn't quite reach it. No balls and a strike on Cody Cobb. 1 for 2. He got hit by a pitch and scored a run back in the first inning. Cougars scored 2 in that first inning on a 2-run homer by Bumstead. Since then, it's been zeros. 3-2 is our score. Sean Beasley, the sophomore from Van, from the stretch. The pitch. It's in there for a strike. And it's 0-2. Vega was charging aggressively at first base. 0-2 is the count, the pitch. Well, you can just see Cobb's lower half kind of leaning towards third on that pitch. Ball was just off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wofford at second. McMahon at first. The pitch. Ground ball to short, could be 2. 6 and 4. And boy, close play at second. They're going to call a double play on this. And I think McMahon may have popped up on the slide. And the umpire at second is going to call a double play. Boy, that's a tough call right there. And Coach Burley is going to be frustrated at the call. You got to slide into the bag and stay down. And they're going to say that McMahon came across that bag and maybe made some contact with second baseman Jaron Burks. And they have changed some of these slide rules to protect the defender, and they're trying to prevent injuries at these kind of plays. And so whether it's at first, second, third, or home, I think what happened is McMahon made some contact with Jaron Burks, and they're going to bang a double play. The umpires will. So you had that lead runner out for sure. And so now a 6-4-3 makes 2 outs. Wofford, the tying run, 90 feet away. Here's Kyler Bumstead. And he's the guy that drove in the 2 runs the Cougars do have on the board. First pitch is called a strike. It's 0-1. Big moment in this game right here. 7th inning. 3-2 Apaches. Bumstead, a 2-run homer in the first at the plate. The 0-1. Off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wofford at third. Bumstead at the plate. Sean Beasley, the sophomore from Van, trying to get the Apaches off the field here. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-2. Did not have a good rip at that one. And he'll have to battle now, down in the count, 1-2. Kyler Bumstead, the right fielder. Sophomore from Kuntz. Off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bumstead, the transfer from Alvin Community College. Deuce is wild on the board. The pitch. Off the plate, it's a full count. Well, if Bumstead reaches, then it would be left-handed batting Kyle McShaffery. Bumstead doing his Mike Hargrove imitation. Steps out every pitch, adjusts the gloves, and now back in the box. Here's the payoff pitch. Ground ball left side. This is Meisner. Fields it, throws it. There's your inning. 5-3 if you're scoring at the house. It's time to stretch it out at the ballpark. The Apaches lead 3-2. Back in a minute on ApacheAthletics.com.
Now batting, second baseman, 23, Jared Burks.
Jaron Burks to lead it off, bottom of the 7th. 3-2 Apaches. 2, 3, and 4 in the Apache lineup. Burks, Vega, and Hood scheduled to hit. And they will face the sophomore from Bryan, Cody Vega. Ball's well hit, high and deep to left. This has got a chance, and it's out of here. Jaron Burks, a leadoff homer to give the Apaches a 2-run lead. And the Apache dugout excited about that. 4-2 Apaches, a home run for Jaron Burks. It's his first homer of the year, just his 6th RBI of the season. And he got some power from an unknown source there. Apaches now lead by 2, 4-2.
Now batting, first base, 22, Miguel Vegas.
First pitch in there. Strike one. Well, you got a Vega versus Vega matchup here. Cody Vega on the mound and Miguel Vega in the box. 0-1. Inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, with the wind blowing like it is today, any ball that gets up in the air is going to travel farther than it normally would. And that might have been a wind-aided homer, but I think Burks will take it. 1-1 pitch. Pop up, right side of the infield, and Vega slamming his bat down. That's not good for out number 1. It's going to go F4 or P4, pop up to the second baseman.
Now batting, for left fielder, number 9, Heath Hood.
And here is Heath Hood. Hood on the day, 1 for 2. RBI double his last time up. Vega drops a breaking pitch over the heart of the plate, strike 1. Cody Vega 5-5 on the year. 5'10", 160, the right-handed sophomore from Bryan out of Allen Academy. Look out, man. Back behind the head. Seen that both times in the last 2 batters. The first pitch a strike, the second pitch way inside. 4-2 is our score. The 1-1. Ground ball fouled on the third base line. Coach Hunter, not a good effort on that one. Lets it roll by him. Still got double barrel action in that Cougar bullpen. A couple of righties thrown down there. 1-2. Fouls it off. Count will stay 1 ball, 2 strikes. 4-2 is our score. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Playing a single 9 here at the ballpark today. 4th game of the series between these two squads. 1-2 pitch. Fly ball center field. Cobb, plenty of room out there, makes the catch. And there's 2 away. That'll bring up designated hitter Jason Ballou. Ballou 0 for 3 today. Grounded into a double play in the first. Struck out swinging in the fourth. Flew out to left field in the fifth. First pitch to Ballou. And that got him. Just grazed his shoulder. And he'll reach on a hit batter. So with 2 outs, here's Ty Meisner. Meisner, all he's done is gone 3 for 3. Couple of singles and a double for the Apache third baseman. And he'll have another opportunity here with a runner on and 2 outs in the 7th. Well, the Burks homer has given the Apaches a little breathing room. It's 4-2. Meisner with an opportunity to extend the inning after Ballou gets just barely grazed by the inside pitch. Here's the 1-0 to Ty Meisner. High chopper to third. That's a foul ball. Wow, that was, ooh, that looked pretty close to me. Mr. Umpire jumped up and called it immediately. Cooper Coe thought it might have been fair as well. That ball, that's one of the hardest calls for that umpire behind the plate. He's got to judge with that base umpire out behind the pitcher there. He's got to judge exactly when that thing goes over the bag. Not an easy thing to do. Here's the 1-1. Ball had hit the ground fair, but evidently curved outside that corner of that third base bag before it got to Coe. 2 balls and a strike. Ballou at first base. The pitch. Solid fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two outs. 4-2 is our score. The Apaches lead it. Here's the pitch. Boy, just hits the end of the bat on that one. All right, we've heard from Jordan Davis. She says, Cody is my uncle. High pop-up. That's going to get out of play. The pitcher, Cody Vega, is our uncle. So big shout out to Miss Davis checking in, rooting for Uncle Cody. Hope things are well where you're at. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes on Ty Meisner, the pitch. Checked swing, and Meisner thought about swinging, and he's going to regret not taking a rip at that one because he's called out on strikes. That'll end the inning. First strikeout for Cody Vega. But the Apaches add on a solo homer off the bat of Jaron Burks, his first of the season. And we'll head to the 8th. Your new score for Mike Carter. The Apaches 4 and the Cougars 2. Well, this is a big inning for the Apaches as they'll face the meat of this Cougar lineup. McShaffrey, Gonzalez, and Coe. 3, 4, and 5. First pitch off the plate, ball 1. Sean Beasley back on the mound. That's pitch number 23 for Beasley. Came on with 2 outs in the 6th. We're in the bottom of the 8th, or top of the 8th, excuse me. Ground ball foul. As now you've moved Eric Owen to first base. We've got some defensive switches here. Vega is now out of the ball game. So I don't know who we got in right field. Sigelski is out in right, so he's going to be batting in the 3 spot. For Vega, so they moved Owen to first base. So 2 balls and a strike on left-handed batting first baseman Kyle McShaffrey. Here's the 2-1. That ball's well hit, left center gap, and running over, making the jumping catch is Heath Hood. Hood did a good job of staying with that ball as it carried well into the gap, and he had to jump at the last minute to catch it. Nice play by Heath Hood. Out number 1 on McShaffrey. Here's Bo Gonzalez now, who is the pitcher DH. He'll stay in the ballgame as the DH. Gonzalez 0 for 2. The first pitch is ball 1. One 0 pitch off the plate. 2-0. Swings through a breaking pitch. 1 out, nobody aboard. We're in the top of the 8th inning. 4-2 Apaches. Ground ball right side. This is through the hole, base hit. So it's a single for Gonzalez. Goes the other way. Good piece of hitting right there. And here's Cooper Coe. Coe is 0 for 2. Lined out to third, struck out looking in the 6th. Got hit by a pitch back in the first inning. So now the tying run at the plate with the wind blowing out. Big swing. Might have got a piece of that. Foul tip, strike 1. A 1 delivery. Up the middle, base hit. Back-to-back singles for the Cougars, and here they come. Well, tell you what, this Cougar bunch all weekend has been very resilient. They were down 3-0 in that opening game and came back to win it going away 10-6. The second game was a pitcher's duel, a 3-2 walk-off homer by Ballou gave the Apaches the win in that game, and the only time they really didn't come back offensively was the second game yesterday, a 7-1 Apache win. So now you got 2 guys on and 1 out for J.B. Trees. He's going to lay a bunt down and foul it off, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. J.B. Trees is 1 for 3 on the day. Infield single his last time up. Sean Beasley on the mound for the Apaches. Started the inning with 22 pitches. 33 at the moment. 0-1. Swing and a miss way out in front. And Beasley now out in front with an 0-2 count. They'll double play in order here. You got the tying runs aboard, the go-ahead run at home plate. But an 0-2 count on J.B. Trees. The pitch. Fouled back. We'll do it again. Four-2, Tyler leads it. We're in the top of the 8th. This is game 4 of these 4-game set here in Tyler. They'll play again 3 times in Beeville in a couple of weeks. Fastball misses high. It's 1-2. On shortstop, J.B. Trees. Really nice gathering of fans, really, for both sides today on a Good Friday. Been a cool, breezy day, but the sun has been out for a good bit of the day. Beasley from the set, the 1-2. Chopper foul. Coach Barley not going to move. Arms folded across his chest. He just let that bounce right in front of him. Count will remain 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, we're in the bullpens of both teams here. Beasley on the mound for the Apaches. Here's the 1-2. Just missed. Boy, I couldn't have taken that with 2 strikes. Pretty good spot for Sean Beasley. J.B. Trees gets the call, and we're even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 4-8-1 for the Apaches. 2-8-2 for the Coastal Bend Cougars. Here's the 2-2. That one's called a strike, and Trees did not like the call. He's going to kind of glance back at the umpire. And that's going to be the first strikeout for Beasley and the 6th strikeout for Tyler pitching. That will bring up Ronnie Bailey Jr. for the 4th time. He has grounded out 3 times today, twice to third, once to short. Big strikeout right there, and we got the tying runs aboard. Big spot in this game once again. The Cougars have stayed at it. First pitch outside corner, strike 1. Line drive into the corner. This is trouble. Into the corner. 1 run's going to score. The 2nd runner will be sent. Here's going to be a relay, and they're going to stop him at third. Well, he was sent, and Cooper Coe realized he was going to be dead meat, so he stopped. It's an RBI double for Bailey Jr. right down the line, and it's a 1-run game. 4-3, the Cougars with the tying and go-ahead runs in scoring position for Jordan Wofford. Wofford is 2 for 3 on the day. Pop up, left side, out of play. Base hit to right, and an infield single his last time up. Sandwich in there, a strikeout. Sean Beasley going from the windup. 0-1. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike. "4-3 is our score. Jordan Wofford. A chance to give the Cougars the lead. A little looper to left, and it's going to fall in. 1 run's coming home. The 2nd run thought about going, and then he held up into second. Goes Wofford. We're tied. Well, he hit a little looper. Heath Hood thought about trying to make the catch, and it let it bounce in front of him. And, boy, that could have been disastrous, as Coe came to score. Bailey Jr., not with good speed, ended up staying at third. Boy, if he had a little better speed there, the Cougars would have had the lead. So we're tied at 4 here in the 8th inning. And you got 2 runners on with 2 outs. So the Cougars doing it again with 2 outs. They've done it all week with 2 outs. That first win they had, they scored 9 of their 10 runs with 2 outs. Again, very resilient ball club. And they come back here and tie it up in the 8th. Coach Rippenthal out to try to encourage Sean Beasley. You got the 9-hitter at the plate, Kyle McMahon. Struck out in the 2nd, flew out to right in the 5th, and walked in the 7th. He's 0 for 2. Beasley from the windup, the pitch. Solid strike on the outside corner, strike 1. Bailey Jr. at 3rd, Wofford at 2nd. The windup, the pitch. Called a strike, it's 0 2. What the heck? Yeah, we just lost it. Yeah, hopefully we're back. Not sure what happened to the power there. No balls and 2 strikes, the pitch. Line drive, caught by the shortstop, Jacoby Bogue, and that will end the inning. L6 if you're scoring at the house. We are tied at 4, and we're going to the bottom of the 8th. Did you expect anything different? Back in just a minute on ApacheAthletics.com. Well, apologize for the power loss there. Not sure we lost power on our camera for a moment. I think we're getting feedback that we are back, so that wasn't the time to lose power, I'll tell you that, in an opportune moment. But we are back, and we are tied. 4-4 is our score, bottom of the 8th. 7, 8, 9 for the Apaches. Well, if the Cougars can win this game, the series will be tied at 2. If the Apaches win it, they'll take a 3-1 advantage into that last series down in Beeville, a 3-game series down in Beeville on May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. First pitch misses, it's ball 1. Cody Vega back on the mound for the Cougars. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's a called strike to Jacob Johnson. Johnson 1 for 3 on the day with an RBI. His lone hit was a single to center. Here's the 1-1. Line shot right at the shortstop. J.B. Trees gloves it for out number 1. Well, not a lot of room for error on either side. We are tied at 4. 2 runs. Could have been worse for the Apaches, as the Cougars left 2 men in scoring position at last inning. First pitch is in there, strike 1 to Cade Watson. Watson is 0 for 2. He got hit by pitches last time up. The 0-1 from Vega off the plate. You've had a couple of guys tossing a ball game down there for the Cougars. Been up for a while. That bullpen. Pitch misses inside. 2 balls and a strike. Vega from the windup. Called a strike. And it's 2-2. Watson Steps out. Doesn't think that that was a strike. The 2-2 delivery. Pop up right side. This is probably going to stay in play. Could stay fair. And it does, and it's caught by Bumstead in right field. So 2 up and 2 down for the Apaches. Here in the 8th inning. Here's Jacoby Bogue. He's still looking for his first hit of the day. 0 for 3. Flew out to left his last time up. First pitch off the plate, ball 1. We're in the bottom of the 8th. It's 4-4. 4-10-2 for the Cougars. 4-8-1 for the Apaches. That's low. 2-0. Well, I don't know. You got a right-hander tossing. I don't know if that's Spinozzi down there. Got Spinozzi getting loose for the Apaches in their bullpen. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That's going to miss. Ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to Bogue. And you roll the lineup back around to the top. It's just the 3rd walk. Boy, it's been a good day for walks by both pitching staffs. And Eric Owen will come up for the 5th time today. He lined out to center his last time up. Couple of walks, 1 for 2 on the day. Single to the left field back in the 3rd. Okay. All right, looks like we got a bunch of people checking in, letting me know that there's no video here, so sorry about that. Somehow we lost power with the camera on our setup here. And Coach Burley going to make a visit. This might be all for Vega. Going to have a chat. Yeah, Coach Burley out there to challenge that young man. Kind of can see his head bobbing a little bit. Trying to encourage him to knuckle down right here and get this last out, get us back in the dugout. Owen trying to give the Apaches the lead. 2 outs in the 8th inning. 4-4. A 2-run 8th for the Coastal Bend Cougars has tied the game. Bogue just got a 4-pitch walk. He's at first. First pitch, big swing by Owen, strike 1. Eric Owen, 324 on the year. Does have 3 home runs and 26 RBI. Bogue's got 11 steals and 13 tries. Gotta believe you might think about sending Bogue here. 2 balls and a strike. It's going to be a hitter's count right here. And Jaron Burks, Mr. Home Run himself, on deck. 2-1's the count. Not going. In there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, you might see Burks or Bogue go on this one. Deuces Wild on the board. Cody Vega trying to get the Cougars back into the dugout. Comes set. Here's the pitch, not moving. Strike 3 called. Big strikeout for Cody Vega. And it's his 2nd strikeout. And boy, just the, let's see, this is just the 2nd strikeout of the day for Coastal pitching. We will go to the 9th, and we are still locked at 4. Back in just a minute on ApacheAthletics.com. Top of the lineup for the Cougars. Cody Cobb will lead it off. Grounded into a double play his last time up. First pitch is in there, strike one. 1 for 3 for Cobb today. And pitch is inside. Cobb 324 average on the year. 6 doubles, a triple, and 2 homers, 16 RBI. The Cougar center fielder. That ball's laced down the left field line, but foul. One ball, 2 strikes. Nobody on and nobody out. Top of the 9th. We're tied at 4. Beasley from the windup. Off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's about a perfect pitcher's pitch right there. And Cobb gets the call. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Off the plate. Full count. Cougars have done a pretty good job of getting their leadoff guy on. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase one. And that's a strikeout. Second strikeout for Beasley. 7th strikeout for Tyler pitching. And here is Kyler Bumstead. Bumstead, a 2-run home run back in the first inning. Since then, reached on an error, grounded into a double play, grounded out to third. First pitch is called a strike. The Coastal fans didn't like the call. 0-1. Here's the pitch. Off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sean Beasley from the windup. And it's going to miss. 2 balls and a strike. Beasley, the sophomore from Van. A 5-1 record. Coming in. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. Bogue tried to dive and keep it in the infield, but could not do it. A 1-out single for Bumstead. So the second hit of the day for Bumstead brings up first baseman Kyle McShaffrey. McShaffrey, 1 for 3. He doubled back in the 6th inning. McShaffrey, 338 on the year. 10 doubles, a triple, 3 homers, 27 RBI. First pitch off the plate, ball 1. Bumstead at first base is 7 for 7 in steals. Not much of a lead there. Ground ball. Owen, fair ball, touches the bag, throws to second. No, bang, bang play at second base. Jacoby Bogue thought he had the tag. And boy, nice play by Owen. Otherwise, that's extra bases and probably a run. Owen dove, gloved it, stepped on first, and threw to second. Almost a spectacular double play, but Bumstead safe at second base. McShaffrey out on the 3U. 2 outs. The go-ahead run in scoring position for the cleanup hitter, Bo Gonzalez. Gonzalez with a single to right his last time up. It's 1 for 3. Beasley from the stretch. The pitch. It's going to miss high, ball 1. Well, you've got Spinozzi if and when you need him in the bullpen. Beasley on the mound. Came on with 2 outs in the 6th. Here's the 1-0. In there. 1 ball, 1 strike. 4-4. Top of the 9th. Kyler Bumstead out at second base. Represents the go-ahead run. Sean Beasley trying to shut down this inning. Breaking pitch called a strike. It's 1-2. Bo Gonzalez started the game on the mound, remained in the game as the pitcher DH. Got a chance to give the Cougars the lead. Here's the pitch. Well hit, left center, right center. This is trouble and can't get it. Johnson dove and couldn't make the catch. Gonzalez with a double. The Cougars take the lead in the ninth, 5-4. Off the bat, you knew it was trouble. Jacob Johnson, he gave chase and dove, and it went off his glove. RBI double. The Cougars lead it for the first time today. And time is called, and I think that's going to be all for Sean Beasley. We'll take a break. I think it's Michael Spinozzi coming in. We'll let you know for sure when we return. 5-4 Cougars. All right, the new Tyler pitcher is Michael Spinozzi. And 6'1" and 195, right-handed sophomore from South Lake, Texas. For Spinozzi, this will be outing number 20 of the year. He's 4-1 with a 1.59 ERA. 28 innings pitched, 28 and a third. 30 strikeouts and 10 walks for the sophomore from South Lake, Texas, Michael Spinozzi. And Spinozzi will take over after the double by Gonzalez gave the Cougars a 5-4 lead here in the ninth. And here is Cooper Coe. First pitch high, ball one. Cooper Coe singled to center his last time up. He's part of that two-run eighth inning for the Coastal Bend Cougars. This game is looking a lot like the first game of this series. They scored often and late to win it going away. Cougars were able to score 3 in the eighth and 2 in the ninth in that first game, a 10-6 win. They were trailing in that one late, came back to win it. And that's the same situation here. 5-4 in the ninth. Cougars just took the first lead of the game. Well, that's not true. They led in the very first inning, 2-0. Home run gave them the lead early. Well, got a lot of people chiming in for their folks on the live chat. Appreciate that. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Spinozzi. Time is called. And I think the umpire called time. And Tyler fans took exception to that. Not sure. Cooper Coe base hit his last time up. It's a 2-1 count with 2 away. The Cougars have rallied late here. 3 runs in the last 2 innings to take the lead 5-4. The pitch. Pop up, shallow right center. This could be trouble. Burks backpedaling. He can't make the play. Another run's coming home. It's 6-4. Well, we talked about it earlier. That wind, you got to turn and run on that ball. You get caught backpedaling, and it falls in. It's going to be a hit and an RBI for Cooper Coe. And it's a 2-run lead for the Cougars. And here's the shortstop, J.B. Trees. Well, he didn't get a lot of that ball, but with the wind, it took it deeper and deeper. And Burks got caught backpedaling, and that's a no-no for the infielders. You got to turn and run, especially when that wind's blowing out. And it just got out of his reach and fell into shallow right for a RBI single. Swing and a miss quickly. No balls and 2 strikes on J.B. Trees. Trees is 1 for 4 on the day, an infield single back in the 6th. The 0-2 from Spinozzi. Off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, they've done it again with 2 outs. The Cougars have rallied for 4 runs here in the last 2 innings. Apaches had a 2-run advantage going to the 8th inning. 4-2, but Cougars have done the job here, scratching and clawing their way to a 2-run advantage. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is J.B. Trees at the plate. Spinozzi from the pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Well, there's your final out. But the Cougars, 2 big runs, and they now lead it by a score of 6-4. We'll head to the bottom of the 9th. Tyler needs 2 runs to tie, 3 to walk him off. They'll have 2, 3, and 4 coming to the plate. Back in a minute on ApacheAthletics.com. All right, we are back at the ballpark. Back to John Groth with you. Bottom of 9. The Cougars have rallied late, and they are on the verge of tying this series at 2 games apiece. They've gone to their bullpen, and they've gone to their closer. Trent Shoulders is trying to earn save number 9 of the year. And the script on this game is almost identical to the opening game of this series. It was a 10-6 Cougar win. First pitch to Jaron Burks is in there, strike 1. Burks with a solo homer in the 7th and a double in the first inning. He's 2 for 4. He had a nice series. 0-1. Just off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Both benches getting into this one. Fans as well. Shoulders from the stretch. Just missed low. Not much. Not by much. 2 balls and a strike to Jaron Burks. Ground ball foul. Well, you got Fiver Trimble in the on-deck circle. So was it Trimble the one that came into the game, or was it Zagelski? Trimble is in the on-deck circle, so he'll bat next. Look out, foul ball. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. We thought Zagelski came in, but it might have been Trimble out there in right field. He's in the on-deck area. So evidently Trimble going to get the pinch hit here. Ground ball to second. This is McMahon. He'll throw to first, 1 out. 4-3 if you're scoring at the house. 1 away. The Cougars 2 outs from evening the series. A pinch hitter now. Fiver Trimble is going to hit for Zagelski. And this is Fiver's first at bat of the series. Fiver 239 on the year, 6 doubles. He does have 3 homers, 22 RBI. So Fiver gets his first at bat of the series here in the 9th inning. Boy, solid fastball, strike 1. And you get the feeling that Shoulders is starting to smell it. Good body language from the sophomore from Angleton, Texas. There's a tapper right back to the mound. Shoulders throws to first, 2 outs. Trent Shoulders, 6'4", 175, the right-handed sophomore from Angleton, Texas, on the verge of evening this series and getting his 9th save of the season. 0-0 with a 1.38 is Shoulders, his 13th appearance of the season. And the last hope for the Apaches is Heath Hood. First pitch missed, ball 1. 2 outs, nobody aboard. From the stretch, grounder to third, this could be it. High chopper, tough throw for Coe. Safe at first base. The Apaches still have just the smallest chance here. Life. Boy, that was a bang-bang play. If you get rid of it a hair quicker, I think he's out. But it's an infield single for Heath Hood. And now every batter that comes to the plate will represent the tying run. And we saw what Jason Ballou did yesterday. A 2-run home run. And who did he hit it off of but this guy? Line drive to short, you miss it, and you can't get the runner at second. The inning continues. Error by the shortstop. Well, Ballou hit that ball hard, and J.B. Trees misplayed it. First and second, 2 outs. Here's Meisner. And now you're going to run for Ballou at first base. It's going to be Anthony Villalobos. Villalobos is going to run for Ballou at first. He represents the tying run. And so you got a pinch runner in Villalobos. Meisner at the plate, 3 for 4 today. He represents the winning run. Boy, could you do it again? Could you hit a walk-off homer to win it? No balls and a strike. Shoulders gets ahead. Comes set, the pitch. High chopper now 0-2 on Meisner. Hood at second, Villalobos at first. Meisner at the plate, 6'4" Coastal. They're trying to even this series with their closer, Trent Shoulders. Comes set, the pitch. Grounder to third, you catch it, you step on the bag, and we are tied. Coastal Bend comes back to steal game 4. And we will go to Beeville in 2 weeks with the #1 seed in Region 14 on the line. What a comeback victory for these Cougars as they win it by a score of 6-4. Final line score, 6 runs on 13 hits, 3 errors for the Cougars. The Apaches 4 runs on 9 hits, and they commit 1 error. Well, let's recap this one and set the stage for the series as it continues down in Beeville. The Coastal Bend Cougars started the ball game with a 2-run homer off the bat of Kyler Bumstead. It was 2-0 after 1/2 inning. The Apaches with a sacrifice fly off the bat of Vega narrowed the gap to 2-1. And then another single run with an RBI ground out by Johnson tied it at 2 in the second inning. We go to the third and fourth with no runs scored. The Apaches took a 3-2 lead in the bottom of the fifth on an RBI double by Heath Hood, scoring Eric Owen. So at that point, it was 3-2 Apaches. The Apaches added another single run in the seventh inning, a solo home run by Jaron Burks. And at that point, it was 4-2. 2 runs in the top of the eighth by the Coastal Bend Cougars. 4 hits in the inning, RBI doubles by Bailey Jr. and Wofford tied the score at 4. And then 2 more in the ninth inning as they rally with 3 more hits in the top of the ninth, a single by Bumstead, a double by Gonzalez, and a RBI single by Cooper Coe. And that's the final. 6 runs on 13 hits, 3 errors for the Cougars. And that'll make that 6-hour trip a little more tolerable for these Cougars as they tie the series at 2 games apiece. Your winning pitcher, let's see about this. Your winning pitcher is going to be Cody Vega. He wins. This script was almost exactly like the first game. Vega goes to 6-5 on the season in getting the victory for the Coastal Bend Cougars. Your losing pitcher is going to be Sean Beasley, and he'll drop to 5-2. So Beasley drops to 5-2. The Apaches' overall record will drop to 36-11. And we are all tied at 2-2 in Region 14 play. The winning pitcher is Cody Vega, and getting his 9th save of the year is going to be Trent Shoulders. So Shoulders will get save number 9. Vega gets win number 6. His overall record now 6-5. And the Cougars get their 20th win of the year. They are now 20-27 on the season. And more importantly, in Region 14 play, we are all knotted up 2 games apiece between the Cougars and the Apaches. So that sets the stage for 2 weeks from now, as the Apaches will travel to Beeville on May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And the winner of that 3-game set will host the Region 14 tournament, the regional, a 4-team regional that following weekend. So, boy, high drama down in Beeville in a couple of weeks as, boy, you tip your cap to the Coastal Bend Cougars and Coach Brian Barley as they come all the way back. They sandwich a couple of wins. They win in the same script for both games. They were down early, came back late, and Vega and Shoulders carry the load on the mound. And, boy, how strange it was as in the same routine in the bullpen for the Apaches. Beasley and Spinozzi, normally solid as rocks, gave up the loss late in the ball game. So that'll be the story from Mike Carter Field here in Tyler. As these 2 squads now even 2 games apiece. Safe travels to the Cougars, as Coach Barley and that club will have a much more pleasant trip on the way back to Beeville, 6-hour bus drive. And the Apaches, their next ball games will be at LSU Eunice next weekend. Boy, a tough 3-game set down in Eunice, Louisiana. The next ball games for the Coastal Bend Cougars will be Tuesday against Shriner JV. So that'll wrap things up from Mike Carter Field. And for the whole athletic department at Tyler Junior College, including athletic director Captain Chuck Smith, Miss Kelsey Weeks, Miss Sherry Hardwood, the whole gang back at Wagstaff Gym. Appreciate all the help up in the press box from Mr. Ed Atkins working the stats. Noah Piles on the PA, Jacob Scott helping up on the scoreboard. This is Dr. John Groth on a Good Friday. Thanks for watching, and thanks be to God who gives us the victory through Jesus Christ our Lord. Happy Easter to everyone. Until next time, so long, everybody.